Today we are going to talk about the fascinating topic about psychopaths. I don't know why we are so morbidly curious about them, but there we go. We have Ayushi with us, and please can you introduce yourself?
Yes. So first of all, thank you, Akash, for having me here.
It's a pleasure.
And I am I am Aayushi Kalyani. I am a student at the University of Liverpool. I'm studying MSc Investigative and Forensic Psychology. And yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Let's start with the basics. When people hear the word psychopath, they often think of criminals or movie villains. How true is that?
Um, Honestly, psychopathy is not about being violent or evil. It's actually a personality construct. It's not a mental illness like depression or schizophrenia. It refers to a cluster of affective, interpersonal, and behavioral traits such as shallow emotional responses, lack of empathy, and manipulativeness and impulsivity. So yeah, it's not a diagnosis. It's not something. It's not always about being violent or criminal.
So it's not as depicted in the movies, exactly,
Not really. No.
right? So, if I get this right, is it more of a wiring of a personality or a temporary mental state that they have?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the traits are often stable across time and context. Psychopathy is generally understood as a neurodevelopmental condition.
Hmm.
The emotional deficits, like not feeling guilt or remorse, aren't just momentary lapses. They are enduring features of how someone processes the world emotionally and morally. I often describe it to people as a kind of emotional detachment, if I get it right. Not
Right.
just a lack of empathy, but a different experience of emotion itself. It's totally different. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do psychopaths lack empathy, and is there a biological explanation?
Yes, there's a strong neuroscientific evidence that psychopathy is often linked to structural and functional differences in the brain,
Hmm.
and specifically in areas like the amygdala, which is involved in emotional processing, and the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, sorry, um,
So,
which
yeah,
contributes to moral judgment and decision making. So, in psychopathic individuals, the amygdala tends to be underactive, and
hmm,
especially when they are shown distressing images or emotional faces, that could explain why they don't experience fear, guilt, or empathy in the same way. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay. So, would you say that they know right from wrong?
Most do. I know this is surprising, but yeah, they do. That's one of the most misunderstood things, actually. Psychopaths are not delusional, like, they're not psychotic. They usually
Okay.
understand they usually understand social norms and legal rules. But the key difference is that they understand right from wrong cognitively, but not emotionally. So
Right.
they can tell you, yes, stabbing someone is illegal, but they are not internally conflicted about it. There's
Right.
a lack of affective resonance, you could say, which means that they don't feel the moral weight of the action.
Right. But just because they don't feel that moral guilt does not mean they act on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the question that always fascinates people is, are serial killers psychopaths, and are psychopaths always violent?
No, actually, that is such an important distinction. Only a small subset of people with psychopathic traits actually engage in criminal violence.
Hmm.
There's a concept called successful psychopaths. These are individuals who exhibit many core traits like charm, emotional detachment, and fearlessness, but who function well in high status roles.
Hmm.
So they might be in corporate leadership, politics, finance, places where those traits like reduced emotional activity and fearlessness, um, like they have high stress tolerance, and this can be actually rewarding for them.
Right. So almost like they are playing chess in relation while we are playing checkers.
Very distinctive analogy. Yes, I would say. Yeah.
So moving on to the next segment, is there any way to treat a psychopath? Is
Treatment is complicated. There's traditional therapy, which is especially insight based approaches like talk therapy. And to be fair, it has shown limited success with psychopathy. And in some cases, it can actually backfire. So,
okay.
psychopaths may use therapy to become better at manipulating. They learn the language of emotion without actually developing emotional
Hmm.
depth. So, more recent approaches focus on behavioral management rather than emotional change. The goal becomes harm reduction, not really transformation.
Right. If we start from the childhood, is it easy to spot the traits?
Yes, and that's actually something that has shown like it's something that's most promising. Traits like callous, unemotional behavior in children, low guilt, low empathy, low resonance,
Hmm.
low response to punishment can be early indicators. If we intervene early using techniques like positive reinforcement, emotional recognition training, and consistent structure, basically, we can improve outcomes significantly. But timing is very crucial. The earlier, the
Hmm.
better.
Right. So these traits can emerge from childhood. That's so it was an eye-opening conversation. It was really nice to have you on the platform. Uh,
Thank you.
Pleasure.